Okay, right. So moving on to the next question over here, we'll be looking into 你们的 biotech 的这个 importance. Okay, if you remember, there do be quite a few different 的这个 aspect in your textbook itself. If you remember, you have forensic, you have medical or healthcare, you have the agricultural part and the environment part. Okay, and in this question 不是它应该比较简单 because it actually break it down into a more specific example over here. 它问你 DNA profiling. 他问你 insect tolerant plant, if you remember the BT, 他问你 oil spill cleaning bacteria. So all of this is going to be very specific. So even if you don't remember anything from 那个 table itself, 什么 forensic 什么什么 whatever 不用紧 your job now is to just elaborate on 这三个 importance 就可以了。Okay, yep, so we're just going to go through really quickly. So first of all, I believe you definitely learned this already, 就是 DNA profiling. 你有一个 list of importance or purposes, right? So we know that first of all, 你可以拿来做什么？你可以拿来找这个罪犯 ，identify criminal， 罪犯的 sperm, rapist 的 sperm, 罪犯的血whoever 的这个皮肤屑 whatever, these are all the tissue sample you can use to identify 这个 extract DNA and do your fingerprinting, do your profiling. Okay, next one you can also use this to identify 你的这个 genetic disease. Identify genetic diseases. Okay. Yep, typical 的我们的这个 gene study or consultation, they can give you all the disease. 下一个 you can also use this to find your father and mother, find your biological parents. So 你可以用这个来验你的亲子鉴定 biological parents. Yep, and then finally you can also 这个比较特别哈 but you can also check for the compatibility. How to spell again 我这边看的是马来文的 schema 喂啊 compatibility compatibility okay, compatibility. So yeah, you can also check for the compatibility of 你的这一个 organ donation. So the compatibility between organ donor and recipient. So yeah, these are basically some of the importance of 你的 DNA profiling. Okay. Okay, 来下一个 moving on to 你的这个 insect tolerant plant. If you remember, this is basically 你的 BT plant, right? The plant that can actually produce 这个 toxin, 自己帮你去杀掉这个害虫. Okay, so what happened over here? Same thing. I think you also learn it in your syllabus itself. 你有记得哈，就是 we talk about by doing so, 你就可以减少这个 usage of pesticide. 因为你 again, your plant is already capable 自己去杀掉这个虫嘛。So there's no more use for you yourself to actually 杀这个虫。Okay, that's the idea of to reduce the pesticide over here. Okay, and then yep, as you can think about it, with that, when you have less pesticide, you then have more plants because you can increase the crop yield. More of them can survive and more of them can actually 留着 okay, 可以留着 yes. And with that same thing, when you have no pesticide, 你也可以减少这个 cost. The cost for you to maintain 你的 crop, 你不会这样花钱去种这个 plant. Yep, and I think one last point over here is quite important, 就是延伸 from 你的这个 pesticide 不是 If you remember, pesticide does cause an issue, 就是所谓的 biomagnification. If you remember back then in chapter 9我们有讲过。So 什么是 biomagnification? 就是 the fact that the phenomenon when a single pesticide molecule 它不会被消化，不会被吸收，也不会被排掉 easily. It will just stay there forever. And if you keep on accumulate 这个东西，不是在那个整个 food chain 它就越变越多 So maybe 你的这个鸡只有10 gram 10 mg 了哈，把你的人类可能会有到100 mg. It become more and more. So that is why we can see if you can reduce pesticide, 你就可以 reduce 应该是说 prevent no 应该是说 does not pollute, 你就可以不会去污染你的这个 food chain. Your food chain would be free from pesticide and any kind of toxin. Okay, yes. Okay, last but not least, you have your oil spill cleaning bacteria. you have your oil spill cleaning bacteria. Like as you remember what happened over here，就是它可以很快的去帮你把这个水给清理掉。So this is typically just to reduce 你的 water pollution. Or if you remember specifically the title over here, what are we doing? We are doing bioremediation. Okay, 这是一个 form of bioremediation， 用 bacteria 去清理环境，用 bacteria 去清理环境。And yeah, a little bit of importance over here 就是 it can actually be okay, maybe a bit of benefit lah. It's not really importance, but yeah, the benefit over here 就是它很容易去照顾。It is easy to handle. You know, you literally just have to throw the bacteria inside. That's it. And also, it is very easy to reproduce. 它可以越生越多，帮你去把这个 bacteria 这个油不是给吃完回去啊。That's how you can actually clean the whole oil spill. Okay, like that's it. Let me pause here for a bit. Okay, yeah, that is it for this question. I will just end it lah. Okay.